The Cardano network just got hit by a spam attack, leaving many wondering if Cardano's dream run is over. But hold on 1 minute, ADA hodlers. Before you hit that eject button, there's more to the story than meets the eye. In today's video, we'll be like digital detectives, cracking the case of this recent spam attack. We'll be dissecting the technical details, decoding Cardano founders Charles Hoskinson's recent comments, and uncovering the true impact on the network. But wait, there's a plot twist. Even amidst the attack, Cardano is making some surprising moves. Trading volume just skyrocketed by a whopping 62%. Could this be a sign of investor confidence, or is something else brewing? Is this just a minor hiccup or a major setback for Cardano? We'll be separating the FUD from the facts, the fear from the opportunity, and equip you with the knowledge you need to navigate this ever-changing crypto landscape. So Cardano enthusiasts and curious crypto explorers, smash that like button and join the investigation. Let's crack the code behind the spam attack, analyze the volume surge, and see if Cardano is still on track for a bullish future. Let's jump right in with a major headline. Cardano's founder, Charles Hoskinson, has broken his silence on the recent spam attack on the network. That's right, Cardano's news today is buzzing with Hoskinson's response, and we're here to break it all down for you. The incident has significant implications for Cardano ADA, and we'll explore what it means for Cardano's price predictions and the overall health of the Cardano blockchain. So recently, the Cardano network was put to the test as it faced a spam attack that threatened to disrupt its operations. The DOS attack that occurred late Tuesday began at block 10,487,530, with each transaction running 194 smart contracts. The attacker spent about 0.9 ADA per transaction and packed each block with several transactions in an attempt to stress the network. However, the attempt was unsuccessful and was mitigated without any damage being done, and the network continued to operate as normal. In response to the incident, Charles Hoskinson took to social media to offer an update from Intersect. This is a member-based organization supporting the Cardano ecosystem, while further amplifying the message with a separate YouTube video to summarize the incident. In a separate tweet, Hoskinson responded with a GIF graphic to a user's tweet about Cardano's resilience in the aftermath of the attack. Cardano simply is the GOAT. According to Intersect, the Cardano network has experienced higher load than normal due to this spam attack. The attack caused some stake pool operators, SPOs, to face difficulties, primarily due to an intensification of block height battles. Despite these challenges, though, Cardano network has remained resilient. The Cardano chain continues to function as expected, and with only really a small impact on overall transaction timings and reduction in chain density. While thanking the Cardano community for its swift response and support in identifying the source of the spam attack on the Cardano mainnet, Intersect disclosed that it has coordinated a technical task force with partners from the ecosystem to identify potential solutions and complement the community's effort in resolving the issue. Looking forward, the task force will work to identify and test a solution that will blunt this kind of spam attack and will continue to keep the community updated via Discord and the social channels. Once the solution has been properly tested and deployed, a new node version that SPOs can upgrade to will be made public. Now, on to some exciting news that has every Cardano holder thrilled. Cardano skyrocketed by an astonishing 62% in volume as ADA price reached a crucial zone. This surge is a clear indicator of growing interest and trust in Cardano. But what caused this spike, and what can we expect next? Well, Cardano skyrockets 62% in volume as ADA presents itself with what might be a golden opportunity. The trading volume of perpetual futures on the popular cryptocurrency ADA has increased by more than 62% over the past 24 hours, according to CoinGlass. As the stats show, the turnover of ADA futures trading over the the past day has reached $300 million across all major platforms. Also taking into account the spot market data, it can be stated that the trading volume of Cardano's ADA during the period under review amounted to more than $550 million. Such figures do not seem extraordinary and indicate a normal level of trading activity. However, considering that the volume of ADA is double-digit percentage points higher than the day before, we can talk about the renewed interest in the cryptocurrency market and specifically ADA. You might be thinking, why? Well, the increase in trading activity can be attributed to the current situation on ADA's price chart. The falling more than 8.8% last week, ADA has reached a major support level at 38 cents. The price point has been historically significant since Cardano was listed on Binance in 2018. It is a crucial zone where both bullish and bearish traders are the most active, given the clear market signals and predictable trading conditions. The increased trading volume at this crucial support level indicates that traders are positioning themselves for potential price movements. The increased activity reflects market participants' strategies as they anticipate ADA's next move. As Cardano continues to attract attention, the coming days will likely reveal whether this momentum will lead to a price rebound or further declines. So with all that said, let's now jump into the technical analysis for Cardano, where I'll be sharing my short to medium term Cardano ADA price predictions. Okay guys, so here we have Cardano's ADA paired up with USDT. We're on the 1-day Binance chart, and yeah, we are kind of tracking quite nicely for our correction here for ADA. So although there is a lot of trading activity, skyrocketing over 62% in trading volume, we can of course see that we've reached up into our expected range of resistance on this move at the moment. So anyone who has been kind of keeping track of our technical analysis for Cardano over the last probably 2 to 3 weeks, we've been expecting a move to the downside. Okay, we can see here that it is a 5-wave drop to the downside here. Okay, we're looking for this to kind of finish off more towards our current areas around 33.8. Okay, so at the moment we can see that we are up against the resistance, this range being the 38 cent area, that crucial zone that we've seen a lot of trading activity around. Okay, so we've come up into this 4th wave movement. We're going to be tracking a 5th wave move to the downside next, and all of that is going to mark the wave 3 before we have that next big move for wave 4, and finally finishing off with that wave 5 at a later stage. So things have progressed quite nicely for Cardano. It's very much as expected. We've seen the resurgence to the upside here, and we are going to be looking for the move to the downside. Now, are we going to get that breakout situation that a lot of people are hoping for? Okay, and this is one of those things where we're going to see where we need to go. In order for us to kind of invalidate the idea of further slippage to the downside under the current structure that I have mapped here, we need to see the price of Cardano rally up higher than 44.06. Okay, that area right here, this white line just coming through the chart. Okay, so 44.06 would basically break the idea of a continuation of this move to the downside. It would also be a move higher than the 50 EMA, 50 SMA, the blue line being the EMA and the yellow line being the SMA. Okay, so we can see right in here that this is the area where we are likely to find, a big breakout kind of situation. Of course, we are still bearish, being below the 200-day EMA is of course a bearish sign for Cardano. And of course, short-term price action is lower than longer-term price action. Price action in itself is lower than the short-term. So everything is kind of still bearish from those kind of points of view. From our stochastic RSIs, things are not looking any prettier, and hence why we still are looking for further slippage to the downside for Cardano. Here you can see that we're overbought on the daily, the 8-hour, the 4-hour. Don't get me wrong, on the 1-hour, smaller time frames, you might see a little bit of a bump to the upside. Okay, I'm not saying that we can't see a little bit more of a move to the upside on the smaller time frames, but what I am saying is that we are going going to be looking for moves to the downside still. We have not yet finished. It does, to me, look like we have a much deeper retracements here for Cardano still to come, where we are going to be looking at testing out that 30-cent level, in my humble opinion. Now, if I bring back our stochastic RSIs here, turn them off and bring on the relative strength index, you can see that the RSI in itself as well is also trying to push its way up, but it isn't really finding any momentum. So still expect further slippage here as well, in my opinion. Now, if I do draw on a trend line on our relative strength index here, you can see that there's a bit of a trend going on, specifically as we start to think about where our resistances are likely to be. Okay, so we can see here that we do have lower highs on our relative strength index. And even if we do continue to push up just a little bit here, I'm still looking for slippage to the downside overall. Okay, so we have a continuation of this idea of lower highs on the RSI, but this isn't actually a long-term bad problem. On long term, this is actually really positive because it gets things nice and reset, and we can talk about those next big moves to the upside. But on the kind of the medium time frame, we are of course going to be looking for continuation of the slippage to the downside. We're not thinking that we're ready for a rally to the upside just yet. And so although the trading volume has skyrocketed by 62%, doesn't necessarily give us an indication, from at least from my technical analysis standpoint, of those positions being long. That was one thing that wasn't covered in the news. Are those positions long or are they short? You know, where does that stick? Now, for the most part, if there is a lot of people going long, that potentially, as they get liquidated, could cause a cascading effect where the price drops down lower. Now, if we go ahead and take a look at the volume, you can see here that volumes are, of course, decreasing on this spot chart, okay, and have been during this entire correction to the downside. This is not a negative. This is a positive. Okay, so as there's less volume selling off here, this is deemed as a positive move on the market, not a negative move on the market. This is an indication that there is no appetite, or a limited appetite, for selling Cardano ADA at these prices. Okay, if I can get my words out today. So as we can see price coming down, the volumes are decreasing. This shows us that there isn't really an interest in selling, and there isn't really an interest in buying either, to be fair. We would see pockets of green in here, but we don't. So for the most part, some people are dollar cost averaging, building out their positions. This is a very corrective pattern that I think is nearing completion. We're just not complete just yet. And this move to the downside, I think, will be something that we track a little bit later down the line. Now, on that note, I did incorrectly draw up one thing that I can see right here. So I'm just going to adjust accordingly here, because to me, this is the incorrect count. It is actually here, like so. Okay, and this one is actually here, like this. There we go. Okay, just so I can actually tell you correctly how that's drawn out so you can see it there. So we are looking very corrective in this move to the downside for Cardano. This is a part of a much bigger play. As I zoom out, it looks really quite positive, but again, we can be concerned about a few other patterns that may be in play here, but for the most part, it's 5 waves up. This is 3 waves down, coming right into our typical retracement area between 25 and 42 cents. So expect volatility, guys, right? We're not thinking that this correction is over, and we've probably got a little bit more pain before we've got those fantastic runs back to the upside, and those runs to the upside are going to be very, very aggressive in my opinion. So for now, everything's looking okay in my opinion for Cardano. One of the concerns, I know some people who don't track Elliott wave theory, but maybe they're tracking other patterns that they may have, would be a head and shoulder pattern coming in here. I don't like this one personally, but you can kind of get an idea that if we do come down here and we have a little relief rally, there is the potential here for a head and shoulder pattern to play out, which would be more bearish, and we could see a bigger term move to the downside. I personally don't think that's what's going to unfold, because Elliott wave theory tells us that if we have a 5-wave move like this, it cannot be in isolation. You don't just have one 5-wave move, you always have a minimum of 2. So if we have 5 waves like this, which we do, then the next expectation will be for another 5-wave movement. And the only way that this is taken out of that equation is if we have an irregular flat correction. The only irregular flat correction that has the potential to be in play is this one here, where we have a kind of 3-3-5 correction like this. But I don't think that's the case either, because it's unusually longer than where it should be. So for the most part, and I know that sounds really complicated, it really isn't though, do join us in our free Discord if you want more information. For the most part, we're still correcting down on the medium time frame. I'm not expecting us to be finished with this correction for a few more weeks, maybe a couple of months or so, as we kind of get through the rest of summer. But we are coming close to where this is finishing, and we are likely to see a resurgence in the crypto market generally, but also for Cardano ADA. Hey guys, if you have found this video useful, informative, smash that like button. If you're new, subscribe, and if you haven't done so yet, give this video a click and stay up to date with other crypto projects in the space.